But with that said, again, I didn't have any heats tonight, so we can get right into. Now, this is it, right? Our Friday night SmackDown recap.
Yep.
Is that yes, yes. All right. Um, really nothing much of note here, though. I'm trying to even remember what happened. We had
Roman Reigns won by disqualification against Bray Wyatt because of Wyatt family interference, and that set up for the main event 6-man tag, which is just Reigns, Mark Henry, and the Big Show versus the Wyatt family. Rollins beat RVD clean. It was actually a pretty solid match. Paige beat Emma clean. I don't remember if that was a good match or not. But then afterwards, AJ came out and gave Paige a random box of chocolates for no good reason, and Paige denied it. Spit in her face, actually. It was kind of hilarious. Or no, not in her face. She just spit it in AJ's hands. After that, we had a submission match, Swagger and Rusev. Rusev won. This was probably match of the night. Rusev did win. I like that. John, do you have anything to say so far?
Well, the submission match did lay the groundwork for the Bo Swagger feud, which I think is gonna, we're full steam ahead on that, as evidenced by
Yeah, we
Miss
are.
Roswell,
We did get a little bit of storyline progression on SmackDown because they advanced Bo Swagger, and at the same time they advanced Rusev Henry.
Yes, yes. I agree with you, Ashton. It was an enjoyable submission match. Love Bo's antics. He's always entertaining. And yeah, I think outside of that, not really too much to note.
Well,
So.
Goldust versus Jimmy Uso happened, and they did the thing where they tried to apologize for Raw, and the Usos actually kind of started to accept it, and then they just went back and started beating him down again. So yeah, Jimmy Uso ended up actually picking up the win, unfortunately. Mizdow versus Sheamus happened, and it was obviously Sheamus won that. And the main event, like I said, 6-man tag, Reigns, Henry, and Show versus the Wyatt family. You don't even need me to tell you who won this match.
Yeah, I mean, once Roman Reigns is in the picture, it's a done deal. So, with that said, I don't think either one of us has anything else we want to say about this SmackDown. So now we can get into our Monday Night Raw review, and we open things up with the highlight reel. Chris Jericho says it feels great to be in Des Moines, Iowa. Gets a pop for that. Jericho says he loves the cheap pop. He says he finds
Did he seriously say that?
Yeah, he did.
That's funny.
He says he finds it ironic that this is being held, on Labor Day, because his guest is a man that hasn't worked a day in his life. He introduces Randy Orton. Randy Orton does not come alone. His fellow authority mates, Seth Rollins, Kane, and Triple H, all accompany him. They come down. They exchange some words. Orton pretty much putting Jericho down. Triple H saying, Chris Jericho, the guy who never grew up, and kind of belittling Jericho a little bit. But it wouldn't be long before the party got even more crowded, because Triple H would take the helm, kind of take control of the highlight reel, say that he's listened to the commentary, he's rewatched the Hall of Fame panel, he's been soaking up a lot of opinions, and he's considering taking away John Cena's WWE World, well, actually, it would just be, WWE World Heavyweight Championship match from Lesnar at Night of Champions, because we're down to one glorious-looking belt now, and because he just feels like Cena wouldn't be ready. Cena comes out. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, Cena, I guess, in his own way, is clearly trying to express that he is angry about this, saying that, I said I was going to beat Brock Lesnar's ass, and if you don't give me this opportunity, I will sue you. I will be the COO of this company when it's all said and done, and then my first act is going to be to fire you. And then I loved Triple H's response to this. I don't know, maybe you would have considered this pulling a Triple H action, but I couldn't help but smile. He's like, really, John? That's what we've been reduced to? Hustle, loyalty, respect, lawsuit. Sounds like a great t-shirt. So it kind of throws that back in Cena's face.
See, now here's my thing. That might have been pulling a Triple H. Or it might have just been Triple H acknowledging Cena's heel turn.
Maybe. I mean, Cena, man, you could see between this opening segment and
the main event.
Which, if I did have a nitpick, it would have been the booking of the main event, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Cena does seem like a man obsessed. I mean,
You
he
mean possessed?
wants, well, yeah, obsessed and possessed. I mean, he wants that match with Lesnar. He wants to beat Lesnar. I think he's got that one-track mind, and it's eating away at him. So, and I think he really demonstrated that well in his promo. Again, as I've said often about Cena, when he keeps it serious, I think he does some excellent mic work, and it's easy to see why he's been the man at the helm for the past decade. I just hate when he does comical promos, and thankfully the feud more or less has been void of that. I don't know, maybe he's taking a few pot shots at Heyman here and there, but that's to be expected. So he's done well in this spot. Then everybody's talking about how they would be better candidates than Cena for this title shot, or in reminding everybody, hey, I've got a rematch, so why don't we just let Cena and Lesnar beat the hell out of each other? And then I'll take it. Jericho pipes in and he says, well, Randy, you've actually had 4,000 championship matches and you've won 0 of them, which I think Jericho's math is a little off. Randy Orton has never gotten his rematch. Seth Rollins reminds everybody
His
that he has
one-on-one rematch. He's been in a WWE championship match.
That's right. At Battleground, he was in that Fatal 4-Way, but he still has not gotten his
And Money in the
one-on-one
Bank.
and the Money in the Bank. Yeah, that's right. But he still has not gotten his one-on-one championship match. I want Orton Lesnar this year. That's on my wish list for sure. But then Seth Rollins, of course, reminds everybody he has Money in the Bank, and you can always count on Plan B. And then Kane
Unless
interjects.
Plan Dean is in the building.
I know, right? And that's another thing too, dude. I don't know if you know this, but I thought it put a slight smile on your face. Everybody's saying already that they want Dean to come back. Like they say that the Raws these past 2 weeks have just been reflective of the quality of Dean's absence. So I find that to be wonderful.
I've seen it too.
And Kane, beg pardon?
On the Reddits.
On the Reddits, Kane saying, maybe it'll take a demon. To drive Lesnar to the pits of hell and get it done. Then somehow Roman Reigns enters the conversation when I think it was Jericho reminded him that Roman Reigns beat him at SummerSlam, and then he's like, well, Chris, you better, watch your mouth or I'll drop you where you stand, just like I could drop Roman Reigns right now. And then Reigns comes out and he says, if we're talking about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I need to be in that mix. And if Orton's going to drop me, why don't you just do it right now? So Reigns keeping the promo short, succinct, and threatening like the boss that he is. And I think here, and I would have loved this, and I already knew it was coming, but I would have loved if Triple H for Night of Champions, and to his credit, he still may, and that's the intriguing part, because when we talk about what's set for Raw next week, you see a lot of things that would have probably been for Night of Champions maybe getting pushed to the side. Because I thought Triple H may have done something with the 5 guys excluding Cena to establish a new contender when that winner emerges at Night of Champions in their rematch. Instead, what he does is he says he's going to sit at ringside and he's going to watch the 6-man tag, Orton, Seth Rollins, and Kane versus Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Chris Jericho, and he's going to see who impresses him. But I will say this right now, Ashton. First of all, I enjoyed this segment.